Consider the following scenario. You're at a remote outpost or exploring some remote area of our Earth. When you realize something doesn't look right, flashing lights, a shadow in the air, and an apparent change in air pressure. While some of the most memorable UFO sightings occur in densely populated locations or known UFO hotspots, many of the strangest and most intriguing occur in much more secluded conditions. Hello and welcome to Zeey. And today we're taking a deeper look at UFOs detected on the planet's outskirts. Do you require answers to the major questions? Are you insatiably curious? Then why not subscribe to Zeey for more videos like this one and ring the bell for more thought-provoking information. Where would you go if you were piloting a UFO and wanted to avoid being discovered? How would you hide from prying eyes, regardless of your endgame? There are clearly some places on Earth that are better suited than others. In terms of mystique and seclusion, Antarctica is unrivaled. Humans have only been coming here for the last 200 years, and the highest population is still only 5,000 individuals. This compares the population of Antarctica to that of a medium-sized town, but with residents spread across an entire continent. Because to the extremely low population density, persons who live there have lots of opportunities to feel isolated from the rest of civilization. Perhaps UFO sightings are to be expected, and there have certainly been incidents, despite the fact that many characteristics of Antarctica also defy the general UFO pattern. Everyone who lives here is a scientist or researcher, and they are arguably less likely than some to believe in UFOs in the first place. Airplanes of any kind are uncommon here, owing primarily to poor weather and a lack of infrastructure. While some planes do visit Antarctica, primarily to transport scientists to their stations, there are significantly fewer things in the sky. As a result, there are considerably fewer known airplanes that could be mistakenly identified. Furthermore, because Antarctica has been demilitarized for decades, there aren't, or shouldn't be, any classified aircraft flying around. Nonetheless, several UFO allegations have been made. The observing public, rather than individuals on the ground, is more frequently than not responsible for locating Antarctic UFO possibilities. Enthusiasts scanning satellite photographs for anything obviously out of the norm, mainly via Google Maps and Google Earth. Images of a seemingly strange cylindrical object observed on Antarctica, for example, were shared online in 2018. It was long and thin, and it had evidently traveled some distance, as evidenced by a path in the surrounding snow. Questions were immediately raised. Could this be an alien craft? Was it something that had fallen upon Antarctica? So how likely is it that it will be photographed? The UFO claims were loud, but critics disagreed. A wider image of the object in the snow shows remnants of what appears to be a rockslide or avalanche behind it. There were apparently additional things with similar shapes that hadn't traveled as far. The counterargument to UFO allegations emerged forcefully, with the 2018 photograph showing simply an unusually large piece of rock that had tumbled unusually far down a lengthy and cold slope. The wider angle photographs demonstrated this. But what are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments. Other objects have also been detected from the sky over Antarctica. They include more examples of alleged spaceships, including one that looked less like a natural rock formation and more like a probe or possibly even a lander, though the consensus is that if there is lost technology on Antarctica, it is almost certainly human-made, as with most similar cases. Again, there is a human presence, albeit a minor one, so there is the possibility of items going astray. More particularly, and again in 2018, there was a lot of focus on a big UFO that appeared, on satellite imagery, to have been purposely buried in the snow. This alien spaceship, however, revealed out to be a German research facility. Because that station is only supposed to be utilized in the summer, it is known and expected that it will be covered over during the winter, which is why it was built with tall markers that stand out from the Earth to help returning researchers find their base. It's understandable that these signs could have been misidentified, but there was no alien presence in this case. In reality, it's a well-known issue that detecting anything accurately from above on Antarctica is quite tough. When aerial photography is analyzed for military purposes, unique, high-level training is required to correctly interpret what those photographs genuinely represent. Without the necessary experience, it's difficult to identify what objects are, how big they are, and even what form they have. So, whenever a UFO claim is made based on these methods of detection, there is always a simple counterargument for those who are skeptical or outright disagree. Consider that Google Maps doesn't even have a particularly good resolution of Antarctica, therefore it's easy to understand how errors can occur and wrong conclusions can be reached. But once again, what are your thoughts? How beneficial are things like satellite images in terms of allowing the public to go UFO hunting anywhere in the world at any time? Please share your thoughts. Away from the aerial observation, though, there have been some more substantial strange findings on Antarctica. Many significant meteorites can be found in the icy south. These flying objects genuinely come from other planets, including the infamous Allen Hills 84001 meteor, which was discovered in Antarctica in the 1980s. It is widely assumed to be from Mars, yet it is also distinct from all of our previous Martian rock samples. For a time, it was the center of a debate over whether or not it contained ancient Martian microbes. Finally, there has been no solid evidence that it does. Although the Allen Hills rock may serve as a better hint of what else might be lurking in Antarctica. There could be many more and similar meteorites or other amazing cosmological artifacts waiting to be uncovered beneath the ice. With this as a backdrop, it's somewhat unexpected that Antarctica has attracted so many UFO hypotheses. Of course, our globe does not have a single ice area. To begin with, the Arctic Circle in the north is significantly more inhabited, and more people implies more opportunity to witness and report UFOs. Meanwhile, Google sleuths have sparked yet another discussion, noticing things on satellite photographs, such as one still of a bizarre, drone-like item that some believed resembled a Star Wars spacecraft. Surprisingly, there was even speculation that the object, rising into the air, resembled Jesus Christ. Many, though, contended that it may simply be a seabird in flight, with its wings pointed downwards. In northern Canada, some pilots claimed to have seen a UFO above Nunavut. Surprisingly, it happened again in 2018. There were numerous reliable witnesses to the item, which allegedly changed color as it flew through the air. It was reported to authorities, but the pilots concluded that the phenomenon was probably not cause for alarm. They didn't accuse aliens either, supposing that their colorful item was most likely another meteorite. We have a history of this type of incident as well, but one of the oddest of all time occurred within the Arctic Circle in 1908, the Tunguska Event. The Tunguska Event was a tremendous explosion witnessed by very few individuals due to the region's isolation in the heart of Siberia. Those who did witness it, on the other hand, witnessed a massive explosion that killed tens of millions of surrounding trees. An entire forest was destroyed by something absolutely out of this world, and it did fly through the sky to reach us. The scientific consensus is that Tunguska was produced by a meteor airburst, in which a massive asteroid bursts while in the atmosphere of Earth or, indeed, any planet's atmosphere if the conditions are appropriate. A comparable occurrence occurred in Russia in 2013, the Chelyabinsk meteor. But something about Tunguska in particular continues to captivate the mind. Perhaps because it happened so long ago and records are rare, perhaps because it has been covered in fiction numerous times, or perhaps because Tunguska is simply the ultimate convergence of space, ice, and the unknown. So from some scorching space rock to some tantalizing Antarctic aerial pictures, these are the most bizarre UFOs discovered at the world's edge. What are your thoughts? Is there anything we left out? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for the latest stuff.